Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back once again to Phatkat Collections. Another great product for your smart home, and that is another Wi-Fi enabled smart home assistant smart bulb. Now, you guys know I've reviewed stuff like this over the years, non-stop. There's so many people out there selling stuff like this, and there's a lot of different brand names and a lot of different, I don't want to say quality differences, because a lot of stuff you get on eBay or Amazon are very, very similar. A lot of times they're the same things that are rebranded. This is by a company that goes by the name of GoSund. They actually use the GoSund app to control these, but they've rebranded it under Nitebird. So I'm not sure if Nitebird is actually a parent company, or maybe GoSund is the parent company, and this is another way of rebranding it, or relaunching it. Not really sure, but it is exactly the same as the GoSund bulbs that I've reviewed in the past. Great quality. I mean, you can't really beat the price point. 25 bucks for two. That's pretty competitive, but it's not the cheapest bulb I've seen, but it's right in the middle. You're not getting ripped off. As far as the specs on these say that they're 8 watts and 800 lumens. But then on the listing, and the link is in the description of this video, and I'll put it to the comment section. This is the only thing that I have to kind of call companies out on when they sell stuff like this. They state that these are 75 watt equivalent bulbs. And unfortunately, an 8 watt, 800 lumen bulb is not a 75 watt equivalent bulb. It's closer to that of a 60 watt if you're getting close to the 10 watt usage required, the usage amount, right? Generally, 800 lumen bulbs are, and I'm just going to pull up a quick, you can just Google lumen output of LED versus incandescent, right? And you can find, one of the ones that I found here is, let's see here, see if they have a chart here. Yeah, so this one's just very bright. You can check that out. They're all pretty much standard. Lumens, 400 to 500 lumens is going to be a 6 to 7 watt LED equivalent. We're not going to mention the CFLs, but incandescent is going to be 40 watt equivalent, right? If we have 650 lumens to 850, that range is 7 to 10 watts, and it's a 60 watt equivalent. And again, these are ranges because none of these bulbs are perfectly produced when it comes to these price points. If we're looking at something in the 75 watt equivalent in an incandescent bulb, we're looking at a LED wattage that's going to range between 12 and 13 watts a draw, and the lumens is going to be 1,000 to 1,400. So if we kind of cut it in the middle there, right around 1,200, 1,100, right? There's no way these are 75 watt equivalent bulbs. They just don't draw enough current in order to produce the amount of lumens. So why I'm mentioning that is because when I got these and I saw the Amazon listing, or the Amazon page, I said, ooh, I'm going to replace a few of my bulbs in the office so we get brighter lighting for making videos, right? Only to find out that when I looked at the back, it said 800 lumens. That's pretty much your standard RGB LED bulb you're going to get across the board. I thought that these were an exceptional value for the price when I thought they were 75 watt. But keep that in mind, if you're buying these, check the fine print, because these are not 75 watt equivalent bulbs. These are your standard 60 watt, 40 to 60 watt equivalent bulbs. So keep that in mind. As far as the the RGB, that you can adjust the color with the GoSund app to whatever color you really want. 16 million different colors. You have your warm white and your cool whites. It does say color temperature 2700K. I've never seen a LED bulb or an RGB Wi-Fi bulb that didn't allow you to kind of tune the whites a little bit. I will tell you though, a lot of times with these bulbs, you don't get that warm white, you don't get the perfect white lights. That's where you really sacrifice going with a cheaper bulb or a more affordable bulb, is in those whites. The adjustment just isn't there when you compare them to like a LifeX bulb. Mind you, a LifeX bulb is going to run you $50 a bulb. If you really want to dial in those whites, LifeX really can't be beat. If you want something affordable, that you're just concerned with just having some white light, you're not really looking to be too picky with it, and get those cool RGB colors, then this is a great option for you. A little bit more about it does say here on the listing here, and again, I haven't tested these out yet because I've had the GoSund bulbs in the past. It does state 16 million colors in warm white. So usually though, even though they state that, you're probably going to get a nice warm white light, so that's good. But if you want to really fine tune the cool whites or the other color temperatures for that white light, you can probably change the saturation, if I'm using the right word, of the colors, and kind of tweak it a little bit. But again, keep in mind, if you're really looking just for white, then you're really going to get one color white. What they probably do is put a warm white LED chip in here, and then the RGB colors are what bring you all the other colors by layering those 3 colors, including trying to get, like if you wash out blue, you're going to start to get towards a white light, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. 2.4 gigahertz compatibility for your network. That's pretty standard. Nobody really makes any, that I know of, any 5 gigahertz compatible bulbs, which is too bad because, you know, as we start adding more smart home tech to our homes, you know, I mean, these are things we put in a lamp when we leave. We're not really looking for heavy range. 2.4 gigahertz better at penetrating and better range, but you know, 5 gigahertz would get a lot of those devices off your network. Again, when you have a home like mine with over 108 devices, I believe I have, you know, that's a lot of bulbs, and there's a lot of room for network interference. And you're going to have it no matter what you do, but I upgraded to a lot of Ubiquiti, which is kind of like I call it a hybrid between commercial grade enterprise gear and residential gear for residential prices. So really, if you're looking to upgrade your home, that's a whole different conversation. But you know, if you get a router from, you know, your internet service provider, you're going to start to top out around 20, 30 devices, and you're lucky if you get 30, in my opinion. I've had some pretty elaborate routers by ASUS, and once I hit 25, you really start to have problems. So just kind of keep that in mind. It does say here, again, listed 75 watt traditional incandescent. That is incorrect. It says here it only draws 8 watts. Unless they have some new technology, but it says right on the package 800 lumens. And 800 lumens is not a 75 watt equivalent. So keep that in mind. 20,000 working hours, 30-day money-back guarantee, and 12-month, I guess here, let's see, 12 months for free replacement. I'm not sure how you work that. You'll have to find out. I've never, honestly, of all the bulbs I reviewed, knock on wood, I've never had one go out. And then when it comes to other bulbs I've had, you know, I've had to replace bulbs left and right outside that are, granted, are outside and they're just using your standard, you know, big box store LEDs, but they go out. Now, not like incandescents, they're definitely a lot more reliable, but these bulbs, I mean, I use them every single day, whether it be the more expensive LifeX versions or these inexpensive, more affordable bulbs, and they all work, and they work well. This office is ran by bulbs of this caliber, so nice and bright. I know some of you may argue because my videos are never super bright, but you know, I have 6 lights on right now. You can see I got some blues. That's the color temperatures you're going to get with these bulbs. Same thing with these lamps right off to the side here on the fireplace. Those like a nice violet. I got those tuned to. And what's cool about these is you can set up different groups. So these are also compatible with your voice assistants, like your, I'm not gonna say her name, the Alexa. Almost did it. The Amazon version and, of course, the Google Home version. Nice thing about those, I recommend anytime you're going to add smart home tech to your home, even if you're not interested in having those devices, you're like, yeah, it's not for me. It's good to have those, because remember, those play well with everything, and whether you have a bulb that's compatible with the GoSund app and then the LifeX app. Let's say you have 3 different bulbs, you bought them at different times, 3 different apps. You can set a group with these smart home assistants, and it knows that it can turn on that group together, adjust the brightness together, whereas otherwise you have to go into the app to do it individually. So it's a real time saver, and honestly, it's a pain if you want to individually, you know, if you want to tune up your office and have different brands, it's a pain in the ass if you have to go ahead and now go into 3 different apps. You're trying to remember which app is for what. So the smart home assistants are kind of a no-brainer, and if you get it, the cool thing about it is you can still use their app to control this stuff, even if you don't want to use your voice. Let's say you're like, I just don't want to use the voice. You can mute these devices, but still take advantage of the app where it plays well with everything. So that's my video. Check out, again, the brand Nitebird. I will show you guys before I know somebody will say something. These are the bulbs. It looks like any other bulb out there. I always like to, with bulbs like this that I get, when I get them, if you're adding a lot of stuff to your smart home and you have a lot of different brands, I always like to, if I'm going to use something that's outside my normal app, take a Sharpie and just write on there GoSund so you know which app it uses, you know. Just a lot easier if you have to swap things out or whatnot. So anyway, pretty cool. They work. Happy to get them. I'll use them. And that's about it, guys. If you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to ask. Drop me a comment or drop me an email. I respond to, you know, any email or comment, usually a lot sooner than 24 hours, but you will get a response from me. I'm always here to help. I want to thank Nitebird/GoSund for their generosity in sending me these to share with you guys on the channel. And as always, guys, have a great day. Be kind to one another and take care.